in the present situation as NATO does today. So it is not so important, I think, for Greeks geopolitically to which camp to belong, to the West or to the Eurasia, but on the level of the values, on the level of the moral, religious identity, is obviously that Eurasia Eurasia and Russia is identity of tradition, of the spiritual dignity of our Byzantine heritage. We are heirs of Byzantine Empire, and now we realize the mission of Byzantium that was that has ended after Ottoman Empire. So we, in that sense, on the spiritual, maybe eschatological, religious level, I think that the mission or the destiny of Greeks to return home to their roots that now are defended by us. But that on the spiritual level. On the political or geopolitical level, I could not promise the serious benefits for that. Only in one situation, Greece can overcome the natural limits of humble dimension of modern Greece state, is to play the leading role in reorganizing Eastern European space under influence of, and that is as well embedded in the history. So that is quite possible. But Greece, after the liberation from Ottoman Empire, didn't use as well this chance. Greece could be the real pole of attraction to other Orthodox people liberating from Ottoman Empire, but that was lost. So I think that maybe in the near future, Greece will receive the new chance to play the really important geopolitical role as it played during history many times, and I hope it will be the case. In that sense, it could be only on the side of Eurasia. But now I'm set to recognize that Greece rather is playing on the side of Israel, on the side of Brussels, on the side of globalist Atlantist powers, and that is very sad, I think.
Could the Balkan and the Eastern Europe neutral zone idea, as you mentioned, be a similar concept to that of Dimitris Kitsikis' middle space?
I have met Dimitris Kitsikis once in Moscow. That was a very interesting person with very deep ideas. So, but he started from the idea that this middle space between Asia and the West could be the new center, but that contradicts the weights of the existing poles. So I don't think it could be really independent. It will be new remnants where a zone of competing and opposite forces. But if we consider special nature of many Eastern European peoples, Polish, Romanian, Hungarian, Bulgarian, Serbian, Croatian, and other, we could, or Albanian, we could imagine that could, including Baltic states, that could be something important, but not on the level as Dimitris Kitsikis imagines. But his ideas are very, very useful and fruitful, and I would support them because in modern Greece, he represents, as long as I know, the unique case of the author and political analyst and philosopher with clearly geopolitical understanding of the reality. And that is a very, very nice example of correct and responsible thought. And in any cases, I think that this middle zone project could be something that is the only way for Greece to overcome the modern deplorable state of impotence and absence of real sovereignty and real weight on the international scene. When there was this voting referendum, OHI, to European Union, that was a chance, I think, for Syriza, and for other powers. There was the chance to get out from European Union and to start to actively to reform politics in the Balkans, in the Eastern Europe, and open the real way, open door to Russia, to Eurasia, and to totally new development in issues. There was a chance, and but Syriza has betrayed almost immediately Varoufakis. They have concluded the New Deal with European Union, and they have preferred to serve the global capitalist masters in order to heroic fights of Greek people for real independence, because everybody was on the position how Greece would behave, because the example of the Greece, if the Greece would certainly decide to get out from the European Union, would be maybe exit of Italy and so on, the split, not only Brexit, but that beginning of the decomposition of this globalist Europe and reformation. In that sense, Greece could play a very important role of the leading force of not only of end of these globalist liberal Europe, but in the creation of the new world, where the Greece could arrive at very important and strategical central line. But it seems to me that now it's almost impossible to repeat, because that was the great chance, and the Greek left has lost it. And but Greek illiberal right cannot have such a power in order to do something like that. It is under constant pressure. But interesting that my book, Forced Political Theory, is translated in Greek. And it was read with attention by some conservative national politicians. They have visited myself several times, and it could be interesting to repeat OHI referendum, maybe uniting left and right against the European Union, but it is rather improbable in the present situation. But we will see. Politics, it's living thing, and what is impossible today can easily turn into possible tomorrow.
Mm-hmm. I'd like to ask you a couple of more questions if you got some time.
Okay.
What are your thoughts on ethno-nationalism, considering the migration crisis and the introversion as the result of the pandemic in smaller countries like Italy or Greece, as compared to the Russian Federation? And what's your attitude and perspective towards ethnos?
Okay. I have written a big book, manual, that is called Ethno-Sociology. ethno-sociology. It is translated into in English and published in the United States, and it is translated now in Italian. And that's where I have developed my theory about ethnos, nation, people, using mostly Greek terms. So, for example, a very important difference is between ethnos and Laos, or Laos, or ethnos. So, in my opinion, ethnos is traditional society, mostly rural, folk society, that is a kind of, without social structures, without hierarchies, and much more as in a village, in a kind of village, a kind of peasantry. That is typically ethnic way of organization, of life. In the industrialization, in the process of the modernity, the ethnos were destroyed. And they were destroyed, they were killed, and from the rest of the ethnic community was constructed artificial national unity. And so I oppose the nation and ethnos. So ethnos is traditional way without hierarchy based on collective identity, and nation is artificial bourgeois construction based on individual identity. But between ethnos and nation is modern industrial bourgeois, profane, desacralized version of organization. Between them lies people, Laos. And I have imagined the term Laocracia. The idea that the people should have power. Ethnos could not be political reality. A nation is artificial political reality. And it is easy to transform nation in the civil society because the nation consists from the individual citizens. And civil society is the same nation without national boundaries. So the same nation without boundaries, but the same civil society. So it is easy to get from national state to the European Union or to globalists, precisely because the basic entity, unit of normative unit of the nation is the same as in civil society. In the case of ethnos, it is totally different unit. It's collective identity, but without political structure. And Laos is, in my opinion, the people, narod in Russian. That is a category never properly thought in the politics. It should be the real subject of the politics. And Laos, it is the ethnos with the destiny, with hierarchy, ethnos that could be composed from different ethnic groups, not necessarily totally homogeneous, but possessing some cultural and historical identity, and most of all, the common future. So it is project. The Laos, it is a kind of organized, hierarchically organized ethnos or group of ethni, in order to accomplish some historical mission. That is Laos. I think that Laos existed in Byzantine Empire, in Roman Empire, in Russian Empire. Laos, that was the people. And ethnical group were subjacent to this Laos. They existed as well as a part of this Laos, but mostly in the peasant agrarian level of this society. On the top of Laos were the political and religious elite, ruling class, not necessarily belonging to the same ethnos on the bottom, but taking responsibility for the future of Laos. So elite and masses were united in Laos. And this Laos was destroyed with the arrival of modernity, was purposely destroyed and replaced by nation. Now, there is the shift from nation to the civil global society. And that means destruction of all the rest of any kind of ethnic homogeneity, and the end of laws, because end of the states, of the cultures. And that is the logical result of individualism, of liberalism. And I think that mass migration represents the artificial strategy to destroy finally ethnical and laotical identity of the society. So it is strategy, not only just spontaneous phenomenon. It is organized. And the people like Soros, like Bill Gates, all the globalists, like Biden, they use mass migration in order to achieve their conscious goal, to destroy the peoples and the ethnos. And that is why it is absolutely negative phenomenon. But not the immigrants are negative. Negative are those who are masters of this modern process, who not only direct and control them, but they provoke in almost always. They provoke them. That is something artificial. We could not stop or limit mass migration without destroying the people and the structures. Biden, Soros, NATO, liberalism, globalism, their education, their parliaments, they puppet like Syriza and other liberals or right or left liberals serving their masters. We could not achieve or limit the immigration without big, great global revolution against them. Conservative revolution. So that is the fight. We should not say, oh, let us limit the number of people coming from Middle East to Greece. It is impossible. We need the Soros first. First, we should cut the head of the dragon. So it is just the results. We could not fight against consequences without hit first the main reason, the causes of all that. So, but the cause is the modernity, is the liberalism, globalism, ideological attitude and paradigm that is at the top and the algorithm of the modern society. First, we should overcome them, and there will be no immigration, and we could restore not ethnical purity. It's impossible, but restore the peoples, the law, to restore laocracy, in order after to make the condition to ethnical community flourish and prosper. And that is my understanding of this process. It is very complicated and difficult things, ideological. So migration is not social phenomenon. It is about ideology of the ruling globalist elite. And without winning and destroying this elite, first of all, spiritually, and after that, institutionally, we could not arrive at the solution, because those who try to solve the problem are at the sources of this problem. They make this immigration as a fact. They have created mass immigration, and they control and they provoke it.
And to sum things up in a more revolutionary tone, what would your advice be to younger people that try to escape from modernity, liberalism, and materialism, to come closer and embrace more traditional values and get away from the globalist stance?
So first of all, for the young men, I would suggest young, sincere, and strong, and devoted to the real, to the people, to the values, to the tradition, to the identity. Young men and women can fall easy victims of globalist strategy if they don't pay enough attention to the philosophy. So in today world, there is only one power: the power of ideas. And when they present that they have money, they have technology, they have institution, they have police, army, all this is illusion. What they control in the reality, it is the mind. They control the soul. They control the soul. They control epistemology. So our revolution should start with the philosophy. And I think that philosophy, it is not about time, it is about eternity. For that reason, I think that the revolution starts with Plato. So let us return, all of us, to the Plato, to the Aristotle, in order to understand their heritage not as something belonging to the past, but something that belongs to the eternity. For example, I'm studying Greek language in order to understand Aristotle, Plotin, Plato, and Proclus, and Simplicius, and all other great, first of all, Greek thinkers. I think that philosophy is Greek. And when I find something very interesting in Latin, in French, in German, in Anglo-Saxon, it is for sure will be Greek. There is only one philosophy. It is Greek philosophy. So don't forget it. So I think that the only real weapon and only the alpha and omega of our revolution should be philosophy. It starts with philosophy, it ends with philosophy, it passes through philosophy. So I suggest, and if we are not enough clever, if we're not enough smart, if we're not enough prepared in the philosophy, it's too easy in modern technology to enslave us. Only philosophy makes us free. So I suggest start for philosophy, and after that, to defend traditional value, defend eternity in the philosophy, defend eternity in the church, and the great and more rich Orthodox Christian Greek tradition. That is immense treasure, the real and profound treasure. And that is priceless, absolutely priceless. So I suggest to for the avant-garde of the revolution for Greeks, because for you it's easier than for all of us to read your classics. And I have published the book Political Platonism, about how great and how actual and how fitting to the reality all ideas of Plato are. So I had this dedicated to Aristotle, many courses of my lectures, and YouTube has banned my lecture on Aristotle because they understand where the real danger is. The danger is the thought. The danger is Plato. Let us attack them with Plato first. Let us rediscover metaphysical and intellectual dimension of great Orthodox Christian tradition as well, your heritage, your patrimony, Greek patrimony. So let us discover the glory of Byzantine Empire. Let us reaffirm the glory of symphony between the powers, the spiritual and secular, and let us restore at least the image, and let us defend that. That is why I am in charge of the site that is called Katechon.com. So that is Greek name, and for us Russian, that is the name, the word that has everything in it. So let us return to being Greek, to be Greeks. So that is main suggestion. And after that, I think that Greek young people should discover traditionalist author as René Guénon, Julius Evola, and after that, armed with the metaphysical weapon of Platonism and traditionalism, we should start to prepare the big global revolution on the planetary scale. We need to overthrow them. We need to defeat them, and we need to use every means we could get access to in order to end with their domination. That is eschatological, apocalyptic struggle. On our side are the angels, on their side are the demons. So I consider modern world as opening revelation of the real moving powers of the history described in the apocalypse. So we need to rediscover the mythological level of the reality and live as heroes of great Greek tragedies and myths, and as martyrs and warriors and heroes of our Christian history.
Mr. Dugin, I'd like to thank you very, very much for this interview. It was really enlightening. I hope the people listening to us will find it enlightening as well. Thank you very much. Hope to talk to you again sometime.
It was great.
All the best to you.
All the best.
Good evening.
Good evening.